the sun, you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice, raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New. Yeah.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is August 22, 2022. This is video number 3. I'm not sure which channel I'm gonna put it, but there's some stuff that I bookmarked while I was on vacation and I wanted to share with you. Alright, so this one here, that's from Royal Soda. The public eye is growing more unforgiving, its gaze like its judgment more relentless. Even so, if the Windsors wish to see the biggest dangers to the survival of the monarchy, they need only look on the mirror. Okay, they need only look in the mirror. All right, so I want to read that article and I wanted to share it with you. All right, some of these I already share on my other channel, so I'm not gonna read it here. I want to focus on the Guardian. Okay, the link will be in the description. Oh, I hope I could. Okay, all right. King in waiting, Prince Charles' tortured path to the throne. I said because of all those medals that I'm seeing here. Okay, recent crisis and tension within the House of Windsor threatened turbulent time for the future king, as this exclusive extract from the new edition of the acclaimed 2015 biography explain. Okay, when this was written? August 22, so Saturday, August 20th. So this is more recent. All right. Few of us remember a world without the Queen, or until recently imagine one. For 7 decades, the UK and most other Commonwealth realm treated question about ditching the monarchy or what to expect of her successor more as thought experiment than urgent business. Her elder son, by contrast, has long wrestled with both propositions, recognizing in his mother's unmatchable popularity a phenomenon that simultaneously simultaneously secure his path to the throne and complicates his singular destiny, born to preserve the crown and pass it on. Prince Charles at times doubt he will achieve either of these things, and he make his son even worse than him. Alright, he is, as a result, and by nature, anxious, seeing existential threat behind every error. All this, he put it on himself. Okay, he put it on himself. Excitable age can encourage this tendency. In 2015, I published a biography examining his strange existence, his character. Like Harry said, it's your character.
It's your character that matters most.
That matters the most. Okay, his character, by turns engaging and peevish, and the startling belief that have driven his lifelong interventionism and reckless fundraising for the charities he felt compelled to found. As I'm reading this sentence, I'm thinking him getting cash from, renowned terrorists, family descended of terrorists, but he doesn't care. All he sees money. Okay, spooked by press coverage of some of the book's revelation, unnamed palace sources went on the attack, assuming false denial about the unusual generous access to Charles, his friends and staff that underpinned my research. Okay, this misjudgment, nobody in Clarence House had yet read the book. They're talking about Harry's book. Okay, this misjudgment, nobody in Clarence House had yet read the book, and the reaction publicized is more effectively than ever I could. Is minor but telling, and it is. They're promoting Harry's book for him. That's the thing, and this is the thing. They don't learn yet. They never learn. You would think what happened to the Oprah interview will make them learn. No, they went on the same playbook. Start going out without knowing what's going on, bashing and saying some false thing. They haven't learned. The royal family inhabits a parallel universe, reliant on aides and allies to explain us to them and them to us. The arrangement has kept most members shielded from close scrutiny, but also detached from reality and protected as much as public lack of interest as active support. Courts or accidents waiting to happen. Medieval structures only partially adapt for the modern age and headed by people who have never in the ordinary sense held a job. The penalty of misstep was lower and a less communicative age, and before a recent wrenching one of disaster plunged wider swath of the population into precarity, the public eye is growing more unforgiving, its gaze, like its judgment, more relentless. Even so, if the Windsors wish to see the biggest dangers to the survival of the monarchy, they need only look in the mirror. Yeah, like I said, they haven't learned anything yet. The playbook that they've been going at, been working for them so long, they don't want to change. They don't want to modernize. Okay, there's social media. Back then, people only rely on papers, okay, newspapers and magazine or whatever to get their false presentation of them. But now there's social media. News travel quickly. The minute you do something, what happened? Boom, people already know. Okay, so you need to evolve and change your character, but they don't want to change at all. They're going with the same playbook as if everybody's glued to a paper, and if they don't say something other than that, the people will not believe. People already know before you could even say the truth or the false narrative that you want the people to know. Alright, and then the people tend to, they know, and that's the thing. They don't learn. And the other thing is that I should have said that in my other video regarding the tech world, where China is, trying to own social media, is that China already have, and I did say that the UK is the one who have the blueprint, who create all this stuff that's going, other countries is picking up on and just pretty much put it on steroid. So what China has here, China already have control of the government. Okay, the thing they cannot have control of is every single individual, which is part of social media. So they want to have control of that. This is the thing here. When you look at before the pandemic, the students who were protesting in Taiwan and stuff like that, and then boom, the pandemic happened. Okay. And what else? There's so many things. They want control of things. When they cannot have control of things, they get scared. And this is what social media is putting these people into. All right. But the royal family, they should have learned as recently as 2 years ago, or was it a year or so? I don't know. Time is flying. Okay. During the Oprah interview, the nonsense that they went out calling Meghan a bully and all of that, trying to distract people. Like, come on. You're giving yourself more worries, more problem down the line, saying nonsense that you're not aware of. And then Harry and Meghan, you know, they're keeping tab. They're not gonna let you spew their name like before. You go let your mouthpieces say all those BS, and then you want them to stay quiet. They bring their lawyers and say, okay, you're gonna do something, speak to my lawyer. We wanna know because you're talking about us. They haven't learned a damn thing yet. But let's continue. Okay, the past year, the Meghan and Harry years, the Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein years, the cash for honors and access years, the fragmenting and fracturing of family years have hit the institution like a wrecking ball. Like I said, they haven't learned a damn thing yet. Consider the trio of Thread Charles advisors regarded until this spate of self-inflicted injuries as a nightmare scenario. Yeah, it is a self-inflicted nightmare scenario. And the thing is that I don't know. I've said this when I started following them and sharing my thought with you about them. They just love to defend. They don't know how to move forward. I could understand when certain things happen, you defend yourself. Yes, it's worth defending. But this defending are self-inflicting, like the article is saying. All right. Nightmare scenario for the successful start of his reign. They nod their knuckle at the possibility that the Commonwealth of Nations might choose someone other than him as the organization's next leader. They worry that failure to agree his second wife's future title ahead of his accession. Like I said, his wife is still known as the side chick. Nobody will never ever respect her for what she did to Princess Diana. She is a side piece. You could spend as much money as you wish to refurbish her, to renew her, to do all this. People will still remember what she did to Diana. A side H. Okay, I don't want to say the word. Okay, Princess or Queen Consort will raise the ghost of his first wife. There it is. The ghost of his first wife. They fear that a restive Caribbean realm might seize the moment of transition to become a republic. One already did. Okay, how petty those first two concern, both swift resolve now seem, and how sorely those royal aid underestimate the third. Barbados didn't bother to wait for a new sovereign. Breaking with the crown last year, 6 of the remaining Caribbean realm have already signaled a desire to follow suit. The painful progress of the Cambridges, William and Kate across the region and March prompted dismay in the royal palaces, but too little understanding to change the jarring choreography of similar expedition by the Wessex. Where they're sending their people to change course, but it's the same old thing. They don't know anything different. Yeah, I share some of these. Okay, Prince Edward and wife Sophie the following month. Protesters at every stage pointed to the way in which the royals are beneficiaries in economic and social terms of empire and equality. They don't want to learn. They didn't want to listen to Harry. That's the thing. Harry saw it, but they didn't want to listen to him. Okay, enslavement, exploitation. None of the palace officials involved in planning either trip seem to have grasped how this heritage twined with Windrush and other fresher narrative of injustice, whether a black life extinguished by the police supposed to protect them, or of a woman of color crushed and cold shoulders by the institution and whose service and her in-laws travel. Meghan, like Diana, has not gone quietly, but the remaining royal appear not to comprehend the scale of the fallout from the Sussexes' departure, instead still squabbling over recollection recollection may vary. They don't see they did anything wrong. That's the thing. They thought they were the thing. Oh, we are the royal, we are this, we are on this pedestal, she will always see us as this. They never thought people will reject them. they thought Meghan was there to beg for them. No, she just turned and said goodbye. You don't respect me, I respect myself, so I'm bounced. And Harry was like, okay, Dad, hold my tea, I gotta go with my wife and son. Alright, he didn't say it, but that's my interpretation. Alright, instead, still squabbling over recollection that do indeed differ, and writing a substantial new section of my biography of Charles, it seemed important to unpick the claims and counterclaim of this conflict, but not at the expense of the bigger picture. Whosoever truth you come to believe, the damage, personal and institutional, is profound. Okay, people who know Harry report that the breach with his family has floored him, and he is not the only one hurting. His brother William is one tight, said one of these sources.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
His distress expressing itself as it has done the loss of his mother as fury. Whatever his Harry's brother said is just lip service. Okay, he even, just in case people forgot, I need to repeat myself and repeat some of the things. He called his mother paranoid,
which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
His brother said he didn't want to put his arm around his brother. Okay, he had enough with him. So he thought, okay, again, there's that pedestal. He thought he was the thing, whatever nonsense they put in his head, like he's the future, he's gonna this, he's gonna that. Yes, he's gonna that, but he never understood his position. Okay, he never appreciated what his brother was doing for him. All the work that his brother was doing engagement and all that, wasn't for Harry personally. It was for the firm. They didn't see that. They took it as a threat instead of saying thank you for doing helping his position be lighter. Okay, Harry was helping them carry the load. Okay, because he enjoyed. I don't even think Harry saw the thing as work because he enjoyed doing it, but they saw it as a threat. So Harry was like, "F you, I gotta go." Okay, you don't respect me. You don't respect my wife. Okay, Harry was already born into the institution. Whether they disrespect him or whatever, he just brushed it off. But once the line was crossed the minute they disrespect his wife. Okay, I think there was a promise that he gave to his wife, and that promise his family has broke, and then Harry stuck with his promise that he gave to Meghan. Whatever it may be, I'm just saying, in my humble opinion. Okay, that line was crossed and Harry had to stand by his wife. Okay, and plus Meghan was a bright light for him, because ever since his mom passed, he never seen anything like this. Okay, never have a woman that, you know, appreciate his work and all of that. So he had to go with his wife. And the institution never realized how important Harry was. And then the other thing is, Harry brought someone who could help the institution. Again, it wasn't about them, it was for the institution. And they even said in their engagement interview, all right, they will do things that close to their heart and at the same time help the institution. But the institution saw it as a threat, so they bounced. All right, and this is why they say service is universal. I don't need you. Meghan was doing all this charitable work before marrying into the royal family. So she told Harry, look, we could do this without your family. I've been doing it without your family. So what makes you think that? I mean, I don't think Meghan said that, but that's my interpretation of it. All right, so they bounce. All right, let's see how much more do I have. Alright, before the Netflix series The Crown turned earlier royal ruction into drama, many people already mistook the Windsors for reality TV stars, tabloid father, but not much more. Yet, although it's unfurled in palaces, there is a human story, and monarchy matters whether or not you think it should, wielding far more power and influence than is widely understood. Its members are also symbols, and as such easily co-opted. These days, the Cambridges and the Sussexes are proxies and culture wars that rage across social media and banner headlines, with William and Kate standing for a steady status quo and Harry and Meghan for progressive ideals. The line, the distinction between two, everybody could easily see it. All right, neither characterization is full or fully accurate. Those fighting the Cambridge's corner assume the Sussexes must be losing the battle for heart and minds. Guess what? Harry and Meghan doesn't care about this, about hearts and mind. They see what is morally right to do, and they're doing their thing. Whether or not you're on board, they'll leave you in the dust because they have an objective. They're focusing on it. They're not worrying about naysayer or trying to insert themselves into a battle that they know they will win. They focus on their work and what needs to be done. It's the other ones that inserting themselves or copying whatever Harry or Meghan are doing. It's the others who's inserting themselves into the Sussexes work. Alright, onto things. Look at the UN. Before Harry, Meghan did her speech at the UN. Okay, then Harry, and now the brother all of a sudden felt like there's a need to do that. Alright, the brother is just playing lip service. There's nothing here. Alright, the distinction between the Sussexes and the Cambridges is very clear. Alright, whether or not I don't even follow what the Cambridges do. If the Sussex, the squad, don't put screenshot of what the Cambridges are doing, I would not know, because I don't care who they're helping, who they're not helping, because I know they're not genuine with their work. And then the people, the haters or whatever, is going on the Sussexes timeline and spreading hate, and the charities that the Sussexes are helping or put on the map and stuff like that, they flooded with negativity from the Cambridge's fan. It's in one of my video thing. I share some of the stuff with you. Okay, as UK based polls show, Harry's popularity plummeting and Meghan's never high slipped further into net negative. This is laughable. Now Meghan's going to net negative. I mean, they have no common sense to say, oh my God, let's at least be somewhere in the middle, because we know this is just BS. Let's be somewhere in the middle. At least some people will believe us or something, but they put her down to negative. This is funny. Okay, once again, this misses the point. A YouGov survey taken in the wake of Sussex's allegation and their interview with Oprah Winfrey of racism by an unnamed senior royal and William reposted, "We are very much not a racist family." Show himself. Showed that 20% of respondents believed the royal family was in fact racist. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, that figure rose to 43% among respondents of color and 40% in favor of Britain switching the monarchy for an elect head of state. Oh my God. He should just shut his mouth. He just showed himself. And then let's not forget, the Sussexes did not name anybody. Okay? Did not name who said it. But they just rule out who did not. Okay? Prince Philip, the Queen, I believe, that were the only two. Alright? Were named, said they were not the one or something like that. Weeks later, a second poll indicate a similar and rapidly growing disaffection with the royal among the young, and who is left among the Windsors to connect with them. The eldest of the Cambridge children is only 9. Andrew repudiated suggestion that his daughters be elevated to the front ranks of working royals is only slightly more brain-stretching than the idea that the Wessex could fill a Meghan and Harry shaped hole. I know they try to rebrand, but they can't. William and Kate appear irretrievably tainted in the eyes of significant section of their potential future subject in the UK as well as the overseas realm. That's right, the young people. This is why when he goes to an engagement, he goes where the old people are. Alright, but the young people who's gonna launch you to the future, hey, what you did to your own mother is enough. All right, and Harry is very loved by a lot of people, and then you backstab him. So this is self-inflicted for himself. He have no one to blame but himself. All right, let's see here. William and Kate appear irretrievably tainted in the eyes of significant significant section of their potential future subject in the UK as well as the overseas realm, and that's by no means the only legacy of the split. Who knows what once Harry's memoir, expected later this year, will inflict, and his father has much to fear. Charles' obvious affection for his boys and glowing happiness with Camilla has begun to endear him to the public. That image is under pressure just as older scandals are coming home to roost. Oh my god, I'm laughing thinking of Princess Diana. His brother Andrew's interview with the BBC's Emily Maitlis wasn't just a gab-smacking on goal. It revealed the complicity of the royal and continuing to provide uncritical harbor despite Andrew's association with the convicted pedophile and in the teeth of allegation against him of sexual assault by Virginia Giuffre. At that time, he didn't think Virginia was gonna go deep into it. If some of you haven't seen it, the Virginia Giuffre thing I covered on my other channel is that Virginia, I don't think she was going in that route to sue her. I mean, to sue Prince Andrew. It's because they were trying to get a word with him and he refused to speak. Instead, he goes on the hate. He goes on the hate. The mouthpieces were going out hating on her, but she stayed on the course, and that put her to file the lawsuit, and she won that $1 million. That was something I was seeing a while back, but I never see anything from it. Someone else was suing Virginia Giuffre for something, and it came and it goes. I share it with you, but I haven't heard much about it. Believe me, if whatever I share with you, if there's a follow-up that I come across, I will definitely share with you. All right, so there's a reason why I share those stuff, because they're all part of the conversation. All right, they are all part of the conversation that really and somewhat in connection with the Sussexes in some shape or form. All right, not really involve the Sussexes, but because due to the family, the royal family, this is the thing here. All right, the Sussexes are doing their own thing. They're morally sound. They're doing the right thing to the best of their abilities. There will be some mistakes, but they are human. But in comparison to the others, they're nowhere near them. All right, so I just want to make that clear. Let's continue. At Prince Philip's funeral, the Queen sat hunched alone in her pew of a service scaled down by COVID precaution from state lines to mortal dimension, an icon of grief and dignity. By the time of her husband, larger memorial attention focused on Andrew's jarring presence at her side and the damaging implication of affording him such prominence. For the funeral where she sat by herself, it's the feeling sorry kind of thing. Look at this old lady, she doesn't have her husband or whatever. It probably did work, but for the people in the UK, but I saw through it. Go watch that video during that time. But the part during the memorial service where Andrew walked with her down the aisle, that really crushed everything. I don't know why. The thing is that the royal family have the objection. They want everybody to accept who they are the way they are. They're force-feeding it up people. This time it's not working. So in order to accept Prince Andrew back into the public face and this kind of thing, it's not working. Walked her down the aisle claiming like he was holding her for support and stuff like that. When you look at the picture, he wasn't even holding her. All right, so that backfired in a way. Okay, and settling the civil suit brought by Virginia, Andrew made no admission of guilt, but raising another neuralgic issue for the royal family: money. I'm telling you, they solve one problem, they create another. Money. The Treasury denied UK taxpayers were footing the bill, but a public sandbag by the soaring cost of living isn't easily mollified. Royal finances are anyway opaque, deliberately so, derived from a mixture of estate income, grants, and investment. If you look at either video one might split into two, video 2 on my other channel, one of those, I was talking about, there's a tweet that I came across where the Queen was getting £30 million, even though the people are suffering or something like that. It's in one of those videos. Just make sure to check today's date. To the outside world, the family appeared to be rolling in it. So why have there been so many stories over the years of members borrowing or 10 violin among the super rich. Quote, the royal have relatively little private money, says former palace insider. Quote, that's why they're always trying to get money. There is also the question about where their money comes from, since they cannot own anything they are giving in their public roles. That's what we think. Let me leave that as that. This definition of relatively little is open to challenge, but the former insider cited an interesting example. Quote, whenever the studies give the Prince of Wales a horse, he views it as a bill, not a present. He can't sell it, he has to house it and feed it for the rest of its life. As King Charles, it's likely received many more burdensome gifts, but he will also benefit directly from the annual sovereign grant earmarked for the fulfillment of head of state duties. Such duties will be his focus. His days of trying to coax funding for his charitable empire from the wealthy donors his staff dubbed, quote, Bonvillain, end quote, should be over. Quote, clearly, I won't be able to do the same thing I've done as heir, so of course you operate within the constitutional parameters, he declared in a BBC documentary marking his 70th birthday. Just lip service to tell people leave me alone, but he still does what he needs to do. Okay, the danger for him and the monarchy, these things are indivisible, is that his history is studded with unexplored ordnance. In the new edition of my Charles biography, I revisited a small private fundraising dinner I attended in 2013 at Dumfries House, a stately home in Scotland rescued by him, redevelopment, and turned into a base for his charities and initiative. 7 of his and Camilla guests that night, existing or potential backers, will subsequently find themselves embroiled in news stories involving misdemeanor, criminal, or otherwise for money laundering too. And the case of Camilla's nephew, Ben Elliot, now co-chairman of the Conservative Party, and David, now Lord Brownlow. I spoke about this Ben Elliot before in one of my tweets. Arrangement to fund golden wallpaper, golden wallpaper and other frivolous as part of Boris Johnson renovation of his down street residence. What was it? I talk about this in one of my tweet videos. It was a couple £1,000 to renovate a freaking place, and it looks like freaking scary. Okay, this is not to suggest the guests themselves have been guilty of impropriety, but rather that King Charles will be judged not only on his future decision, but past association and action. These include his determination to reappoint and promote his former valet, Michael Fawcett, that's that guy who always take the blame for him, to ever higher position despite 2 resignations. 2 resignation and serious controversies. As then chief executive of Dumfries House, Fawcett presided at the 2013 dinner. Was it this guy? There was someone that Charles wanted to hire for Harry and Meghan's reception wedding, and Harry was like, nope, you're not gonna hire this person. I don't know if it's the same people. Okay, as then chief executive of Dumfries House, Fawcett presided at the 2013 dinner. Late last year, he resigned from all his royal roles, this time amid allegation that he solicited a charitable donation against the promise of knighthood. This is because of the money laundering probably. He's probably taking that photo. In February, Scotland launched an investigation under the Honour of Prevention of Abuses Act 1925. Okay, Charles has weathered more than a few scandals and won over more than a few skeptics. His environmentalism, once widely divided, resonates more widely than it did. He remains, however, a polarizing figure trying to navigate an increasingly polarizing world. The primary role of head of state is so unified, this could be a bumpy ride. That is very interesting. What is this here? Prevention Act. Let's open a new tab. These Honor Prevention Abuse Act. Okay, Honor Prevention Abuse Act 1925. The Honor Prevention Abuse Act is an act of the Parliament of the United Kingdom that makes the sale or peerage or any other honors illegal. The act was passed by the Parliament in the wake of David Lloyd George 1922 cash for honor scandal. Yep, he's doing the same thing. Everybody turn a blind eye. So how did that go? Alright, so I'm done with this. The article will be in the description. Let's see some of the comments here. Okay, best royal reads. Okay, interesting article. It's not gossip or propaganda, but cool analysis of what's going on. I'm surprised it was written by a British. Okay, I read the comments already. So that's it. This is it for this video. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Or you could become a member. The link is in the description. That's it.